So this is a video I've wanted to do for the longest time, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it. But I figured, fuck it, no better time than the present. Let's get on with it with this video that this is the type of video that I've wanted to do for the longest time, and I just never got around to doing it. And that is, of course, could Godzilla survive the Warhammer 40k universe? Now, I know what you're already thinking, no, there's no way he can't travel through space. Yeah, so we're going to say, for hypothetically, like, let's keep space travel out of it, and can Godzilla actually live in a universe full of endless warfare? That's the big question we're going to be asking today, is could Godzilla actually survive in this universe? Let's just take space travel out of it, and be like, how would he compare against the other factions of the Warhammer 40k universe? That's the big question we're going to be asking right now. So, how I kind of imagine, you have to understand, Godzilla is a pretty powerful being. Like, we've seen him tank an asteroid to the face, we've seen him fight space monsters, survive nuclear explosions. Hell, that only makes him stronger. There's really, hardly anything that could kill him. There's really nothing in his world that has been able to kill him. And in some cases, we've seen him survive beings from other universes now. We've seen him tank and defeat the Megazord and the Dragon Zord in the Power Ranger crossovers. Oh, and he one-shot KO'd Superman, and then beat down Atom Smasher, Hawkgirl, and Shazam. Following right after that, and then proceeded to go and fight his way through other monsters and superheroes in the DC universe. So yeah, it's kind of gotten a lot. Godzilla ain't no slouch when it comes to opponents. Oh, and he's taken it there's no telling how powerful Godzilla can be. It's kind of incalculable when you really think about it. So what would it be like if you just dropped Godzilla in the center of this universe? What would it be like if you just plopped Godzilla in the Warhammer 40k universe? That's what we're going to be asking ourselves. So Godzilla, how would he hold up against other factions? Well, of course, let's start with the Imperium of Man. The Imperium of Man has a lot of technology that Godzilla has kind of come across already. You know, cannon fire, lasers, few things like that. I doubt a battalion of soldiers carrying las guns are going to really do much other than irritate him, and then they all get vaporized. The big thing I could see Godzilla taking a lot of punishing blasts from is a bombardment from the Imperial Navy, just kind of just blasting him from orbit until he just looks up and starts blasting into the sky. Now, the other thing that I think Godzilla would have some difficulty fighting is the Imperial Knights. The Imperial Knights would definitely be an opponent that they're just massive, including and I'm going to include Imperial Titans as well. So these just massive machines just hulking their way towards him with chainswords and cannons and plasma fire. Godzilla could take some damage from them, but you have to remember, Godzilla fighting mechs is kind of his whole thing. How many times has he destroyed Mechagodzilla? You know, he's gone toe-to-toe with cybernetic beings multiple times over and has come out on top. And you have to remember, the Imperium's technology is kind of low-tech compared to what G-Force rolled out with Mechagodzilla or any other alien race that had, more advanced technology. So, the Imperial Knights, while I do think they would probably, try to, gang up on Godzilla, there's really nothing they can do. They'd probably do some damage to him, but in the end, Godzilla's just going to, tank those shots and just rip his way through the Knights and Titans. Space Marines probably get vaporized as well. They're probably just gonna have to climb all over and be like, stab it in the eye, brother! And then Godzilla just swats them off, and as his foot's coming down on a Space Marine looks at one of his brothers and goes, "Avenge me, brother! Brother, avenge me!" If you know what I'm talking about, kudos. Anyway, so yeah, the Imperium of Man really doesn't have anything to throw at Godzilla that's really much of a threat to him. Now, let's talk about some other races. The Orcs and their bigger machines, the Stompas. The Orcs would probably love to, like, fight Godzilla. They would just be like, the big lizard is the big boss. Like, I could see them, like, trying to, like, climb all over Godzilla and, like, bite and scratch and shoot at him until he just does a nuclear pulse to just get them all off. So, the Orcs would probably have fun fighting Godzilla, especially unleashing their Stompas at him. They would just be like, if we can kill him, we can kill anybody. This is gonna be a fun wag. So, that's gonna be the Orcs' mindset the whole time. But, again, I don't think their technology's that good of a opponent against him. But I think numbers would definitely give Godzilla a hard time. So, next up, the Eldar. The Eldar technology they have, it's pretty advanced, but there isn't a lot of Tau to begin with. And I think the Tau would realize, we're not fucking with that. The Drakari, on the other hand, Drakari would be like, we want to fight him, or at least dump him off on a Eldar Maiden World, and just fuck with everybody. Like they would be like, this guy is all about pain and anger. Let's, like, drop him somewhere. Like, they would want to use him like a weapon. The Leagues of Votann, they've got technology, but again, they really don't have anything big enough to, like, challenge Godzilla. The Tau, let's talk about them. The Tau, I think, one of the few races, technologically speaking, who probably could do some damage to Godzilla, and maybe even have tech that could kill him. I could definitely see, like, in their first fight, that the mechs they use, while they're not as big as, like, the Imperial Knights, they definitely could be agile and fast enough to avoid Godzilla's attacks, damage him, and then they could take the cells, study it, and I have no doubt the Tau could probably build something to either, like, cripple or kill Godzilla in the future. They do have the technology for it. Speaking of technology, another race that could probably be on the Kill Godzilla list is the Necrons. And I'm not just saying that as a Necron fanboy. The Necrons would probably have they've had technology to kill gods, entire galaxies even. So killing Godzilla would probably be pretty easy after seeing the tech they have. So I would give it to the Necrons. I do think, though, Godzilla would probably wipe out a good number of them before they're like, alright, no more fucking around. Next up, I would say, following that, let's talk about the Tyranids. The Tyranids would be would probably try to, like, consume Godzilla. Could you just imagine if they kill and consume Godzilla? Could you just imagine the biomass they could take from Godzilla and the nightmare, like, just Godzilla Tyranids. Think on that for a second and how horrible that would be. Just giant Godzilla-sized Tyranids with atomic breath. Just really, like, think on how much of a bad day the rest of the galaxy would have. Just really think on that. Could they kill him? I think on numbers alone, and plus, they would probably make the Tyranid hive mind would probably make something to compete with Godzilla that they could just bring back again and again and again until they finally kill Godzilla. So of the races, I would say the Tau, even though they don't have the numbers, they have the tech for it. The Necrons, they have the numbers and the tech. And I would say the Tyranids are the three best ones that would have the best shot out of everyone I've listed to kill Godzilla, that have the best chance to kill Godzilla. But really, it's like those are the three I give it to, but I'm going to leave it up to you. What races could kill Godzilla in Warhammer 40k? That's actually what I'm actually going to call it. Like, instead of what if Godzilla existed, I'd be like, what Warhammer 40k factions could kill Godzilla? That's probably the better title, and that's probably what I'm going to call it, but instead of what I originally had. So you guys tell me in the comments below, who do you think, what races could kill Godzilla? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.